All right, hey everyone. All right, you can see the first attendees joining in. Awesome. All right. Elea, I know it's a bit late for you, huh? It's 1
Yeah,
a.m. On your
eight.
side of the world.
Yeah, it's 8 a.m. for me. How about others? Carrie said hi. What time
Hey
is?
everyone.
um,
Nice. Just had lunch. Okay. Hope it was good. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's 9 a.m. PST. Um,
oh,
for Europe, it's like end of day, but I know for some of the diehard folks in Asia, it's like in the middle of the night or around bedtime. But we're very happy for you guys to come in and join our workshop. So let's see. Let's wait for a bit. So Leia, are you excited today?
yeah. Be honest, I'm a little sleepy now, but I'm more excited to talk with our users. Yeah.
All right. So put all that energy into this workshop, and then you can sleep like a baby afterwards. Okay. Yeah. Shall we just get started, Leia?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Great. It's the floor is all yours.
Yeah. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Leia, the ProtoPie teacher to help you become a ProtoPie expert. And today I will introduce some new features of ProtoPie 5.1, which is the latest version we just released. So perhaps most of you guys already know the highlight of this version is the voice interactions. So how about using this feature to do a special opening for our today's workshop? Let me introduce our opening guest, Piebolt.
Hi, I'm ProtoPie. What can I do for you?
Hi, do you know what we will be learning at this workshop?
Yes, today you will introduce some of my new features.
Uh, so what are the new features?
The most interesting one is the voice prototyping. A part of it, I also have multi-line text input, resize text layers automatically, duplicate layers using Option Alt plus drag, multi-select components and scenes, etc., etc.
Mm, thank you, you are so smart.
Yes, I am. Ha, ha, ha.
Okay, let's applaud for the opening guest, Piebolt. Okay, it's time to start our workshop officially, and I will share my slide. As ProtoPie introduced itself, there are 5 features we will learn today, but obviously the focus is on voice interactions. And during the workshop, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the Q&A window. Fredo and Cindy, they will answer you there. Additionally, we will have a Q&A section at the end of workshop. By the way, if you haven't used ProtoPie before and want to start learning it after today's workshop, then I strongly recommend you to participate in the upcoming ProtoPie's online workshops. So there are 12 workshops, and on those workshops, I will help you to learn from scratch and quickly master all the core features of ProtoPie. And Fredo, I think Fredo has already shared the link in the chat window. You can check it there. All right, it's time to start learning the first feature, voice prototyping. I know some of you guys may not have tried ProtoPie before, so let me quickly introduce ProtoPie conceptual model first, because it will be very helpful to you to better understand the voice interactions. We believe that any interactions ideas could be expressed with 3 parts: object, trigger, and responses. So for example, when we turn this light on, the light is the object and the action pull is the trigger. And the result of the trigger, we call this response. So in this case, is this light will be turned on. This concept model is very simple, right? Then let's think about this. According to this concept, how should we break down voice interactions? Let's use Siri as the example. So if we want to open Siri, we need to press the home button, right? So in this case, the long press is the trigger. Then what is the response? So for programs, the response is Siri will start to listen. This is the first step when we start using Siri. And for the second step is you will ask
What's on
something
my
to
calendar
Siri.
tomorrow?
You have a couple of appointments for tomorrow.
So after you ask something to Siri, and the Siri will recognize the contents that you spoke. So recognize voice is the second trigger. Then based on your comment, Siri will answer you or perform other actions. So in this case, the Siri show us the calendar. So those are responses. When we apply these concepts to ProtoPie, we give each trigger and the response a name. So for example, when you tap a button and if you want the ProtoPie to start listening to you, then the trigger is the tap in this case, and the response in ProtoPie we call speech recognition. And then ProtoPie will start recognize what did you say. So the recognized speech is another trigger. And as the response, ProtoPie can answer you with speech, or you want to perform some other responses. So text-to-speech or other responses like move or rotate, they are responses. Okay, enough talking. Let's open ProtoPie 5.1 and make a prototype together. I will close this, our guest, and open another prototype. So as you can see here, I already prepared the assets, and let's make one voice prototype together. So first interaction I made is when I open this prototype, I want the ProtoPie say this sentence to me. So in this case, the trigger should be start. So start means you don't need to touch your screen, but prototype will show you some responses automatically. And so this is trigger start. And for the responses, for the first interaction should be the text to speech. And the text I want the ProtoPie to say to me is this one. Say, hi ProtoPie, hi, I'm ProtoPie, what can I do for you? So I just need to copy and paste the contents to the this text-to-speech response. And here, ProtoPie provide support more than 40 languages. So like Chinese, English, or French, or German. So you can choose the language you need. And for the gender of the voice, we provide those two, male and female. And other options for the voice, one is speed, another one is pitch. For the speed, I think it's very easy to understand, right? So if you give it higher number, that means the speed of the ProtoPie voice will be faster. And for the speech, one thing I want to share with you is the range of the number you can input here is from 0.5 to 2. So if you set a higher number than 1, that means the tone of the voice will be thinner. Okay, here I will just leave it as the default 1, 1. And then let's check our first interactions together.
Hi, I'm ProtoPie. What can I do for you?
Very simple, right? Just add the two pieces and the first micro interactions, voice micro interactions has been done. Okay, the second interactions we will make is Now I need to say something. And when I tap this button, I want the ProtoPie to start listening to me. So in this case, the trigger is tap, and the response is this microphone on image. And the response of it is this one, speech recognition. So if that means ProtoPie will start listening to me first when I tap this button. And the language I will speak is English. So that's why I just leave it as default. Let's check.
Hi, I'm ProtoPie. What can I do for you?
When I tap this button, now ProtoPie is start listening to me. How did I know that? Because if you move to the right corner here, you can see a microphone icon is blinking. So when it's blinking, that means ProtoPie is start listening sounds around. Okay, so this is the second interaction. And the third interactions, what I want to make is when I say a sentence, I want the ProtoPie to recognize what did I say. And at the same time, I want it can show the contents I just spoke on the screen. So for this third interaction, the trigger should be recognize speech, and the response is the text. So when the text should be shown on the screen, the trigger point, you can choose while speaking or after speaking. In this case, I prefer to use while speaking. I think this is the common interaction. And for the comment here, I will use it later. So here, let's just cancel it. With this trigger, ProtoPie start recognize what did I say. And then the contents I said will be shown in the user text one, this layer. But the contents, because in general, we don't know what users will say, right? It's not always static contents. So in that case, we better use formula. So here, if you tap dollar, and you can find a variable list. So those variables that ProtoPie support now. And you can find the voice transcript at the end of this list. So this variable we just added in 5.1. With this variable, ProtoPie can remember and save the contents he heard. And then through this text response, the contents will be shown on the screen. Okay, let's see how does it work.
Hi, I'm ProtoPie. What can I do for you?
As you can see, if I tap this button, ProtoPie will start listening to me. And the sentence, ProtoPie will start listening to me, and the sentence will be shown here. But as you can see, if I have a pause in my sentence, then ProtoPie will stop listening to me. The reason why is when we go back to the speech recognition, we can find the continuous setting here. If we check it, that means even I have several pauses, ProtoPie will not stop listening. It will keep listening to me. But if I don't check it, ProtoPie will only hear the first sentence until your first pause. Let's see if I check it.
Hi, I'm ProtoPie. What can I do for you?
So even I have a pause during my sentence, ProtoPie will keep listening to me. ProtoPie cannot recognize his own name, ProtoPie. Anyway, this is the how continuous working. Yeah, but for this, for the current interaction, we don't need to check it. So just leave it as a default. So start without continuous. Okay, so we already make the those three interactions. The last interactions I want to make is I want the ProtoPie to give me different answers based on my question. So the trigger now we need to use is same, recognize speech. But the difference is I want the answer here, the text. The text should show in the Pi text here. I want this text should be shown after my speaking. And this time I will use comment. So you can tap a sentence here or tap a keyword. Both are fine. And in this case, let's say 5.1. If I ask, when did you release 5.1, and then it will show me a sentence. But if I ask a question is including 5.0, another keyword, then it should show me another answer. Okay. Let me quickly set up the answer. So 5.1 has been released last month. And 5.0 has been released in June. Okay. So here we give them a different keywords, 5.1 and 5.0. Let's try.
Hi, I'm ProtoPie. What can I do for you?
When did you release 5.1? The answer show me 5.1 has been released last month. And then I will ask, when did you release 5.0? So the answer will be changed based on my keyword. But of course, the current this interaction looks a little weird because I haven't added text to speech. I want ProtoPie can answer me with voice together. So the contents, I just copy them and paste them to the text to speech. Same for the 5.0. Okay, now we finished our first voice prototype. Let's try it.
Hi, I'm ProtoPie. What can I do for you?
I forgot one setting. Here, the voice, I need to change it to male because I set it, because I set is male here too. So I want to use the same voice tone.
Hi, I'm ProtoPie. What can I do for you?
When did you release 5.1?
5.1 has been released last month.
So when did you release 5.0?
5.0 has been released in June.
Okay, we just finished our first voice prototyping with those 12 interaction pieces. Very easy, right? I think ProtoPie, this voice prototyping feature is can give designers an easier way to make VUI. Okay, let's jump back to my slide. To summarize what we learned, those three pieces and one formula. So some of our users ask, why should I add a response separately to open the ProtoPie microphone? Can I just use recognize speech trigger without speech recognition? We got a lot of questions about this. I can check the Q&A window. I'm not sure if there anyone asked the same question. So to answer you, the reason why is the prototype doesn't listen and get any input by default. So every time speech recognition needs to be enabled first when running the prototype. Okay. And one thing I want to mention here is before the 5.1 release, we let a small group of users did a closed test. We call this program early access group. I'm not sure if anyone who is in this group also attended this workshop, but a lot of designers in this group create amazing prototypes in just a few days. So out of many, we want to share Zhilong's work. He simulates an automotive use case. Let's take a look together.
今天天气怎么样？
以下是今天天气情况。
你最喜欢的人是谁？
毋庸置疑，当然是你。
那你最讨厌的人是谁？
我想想，可能是不努力的你吧。
好的，我知道了，你走吧。
Does anyone understand
好的，
Chinese?
有需要再叫我。
Does anyone understand Chinese in our workshop? Actually, Zhilo make a very funny conversation in this demo. And this is just one of the demo we got from our early access group users. We got not only those demos, also a lot of helpful feedbacks. So we really want to take this opportunity to say thank you to anyone who helped us. Thank you very much. Okay, in addition to the user's demo, our team has also made several other demos using those voice interaction pieces. Let's take a look. So the first one you already see here is a voice typing feature in Google Docs.
Be a yardstick of quality, full stop. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. Full stop. A quote by Steve Jobs. Full stop.
Be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. A quote by Steve Jobs.
We showed this demo to some users, and a lot of people, they asked us, how did we connect ProtoPie with Google Docs? Actually, all elements, all visual things you see here are prototypes. And by the way, if you need the PI file of this demo, you can check our chat window. Fredo will share the whole demo's PI file in there. Okay, the second demo is showing a translation application.
Hey Audrey, how you doing in Barcelona?
Hola, Adri. ¿Cómo te va en Barcelona?
Todo bien, gracias. ¿Cómo estás en San Francisco?
All good, thank you. How are you in San Francisco?
Great, I'm enjoying the time I have with my family here. All right, let's see where we are with the prototypes.
Genial. Estoy disfrutando el tiempo con mi familia aquí. De acuerdo, veamos cómo vamos con los prototipos.
As I mentioned, ProtoPie support more than 40 languages. So that's why you already see the Chinese, English, and now it's Spanish. We are looking for more other language demos made by your guys. Okay, so the two demos we watched before are showing the voice interactions on mobile or website. And this time we want to expand voice interactions from a single mobile device to other additional hardware platforms. So the first one is a smart TV demo.
What are you looking for?
Animation movies.
Okay, which animation movie do you like?
This demo is made by our CEO, Tony. So when Tony pressed the voice button on the remote control, the press trigger, in ProtoPie, we have a trigger named press. So the press trigger in ProtoPie will be triggered, and then the recognized speech response will start listening. And what you see on the TV actually is a prototype. So we just upload the Pi file to ProtoPie Cloud and to get a preview link and then open the link on TV. Actually, the most existing things is the whole process. When we made this demo, we haven't read any line of code. So all things without any code. The last demo I want to show you is car simulation, because the voice interactions also used widely in this industry.
What can I help you with?
Play music for rainy days.
Play your playlist for rainy days.
Okay, so in this demo, we used this iPad to simulate the car display, and then we need to connect the app. By the way, we have a ProtoPie player application. I think maybe you already know if you have tried ProtoPie before. So in advance, we installed this ProtoPie player into this iPad. So that means we already saved the prototype into this iPad. And after that, we need to connect the steering wheel with the ProtoPie player. But actually, ProtoPie cannot directly recognize the information of the steering wheel. So we used a ProtoPie plugin called ProtoPie Connect. This plugin is specially developed for the software and hardware interactions and the multi-screen interactions. I think most of you guys haven't heard it before because we only provide this plugin for enterprise user currently. But if you are interested in it, we have an introduction page on our website. And the ProtoPie Connect, this plugin support almost any hardware. So you can go to that page and check more details, and also you can request a demo. I think Fredo, could you share the page link in the chat window? Thank you. Okay, we went a bit off track. Let's come back to the 5.1 features. So before introduce the next features, I want to quickly show you this table. Currently, voice prototyping activation is not accessible on all platforms. So means some of the voice features may not work on certain platforms. So this is not a bug, but a technical limitation. Our development team is currently working on bettering these solutions. Okay, now let's move to next two new features of ProtoPie 5.1. This time, I'd like to introduce those two. So one is a multi-line text input, and another one is a Resize text layer size automatically. I want to introduce them together because they are related to typing interactions. Okay, let me open another prototype I prepared. If you have tried ProtoPie before, maybe you already know, ProtoPie can help you easily make typing interactions with this input layer. So you don't need to add any interactions, just add a layer, and then you can start typing anything, use your real keyboard. But the pain point of the previous version is you can only, when you type a long contents, it only can be shown in one single line. So that means the some contents will be cut off when the left part will be cut off. So to solve this pain point, in 5.1, we add new features for input layer. we call this multi-line, this one. So if you check it, then you can tap along contents, but it will shown by several lines. And also, if you want to extend the height automatically, you can check this here. And as you can see, the height of this input layer will be extended automatically. But interactions is very weird here. The reason why is the current origin is in the left top side. So to solve this problem, we just need to change the origin to the lower right side. So that means when the height of this input layer change, the height will be extend upward. And also you can give it max height, for example, 52, then you can only extend twice, so 3 lines, and then same, the over part will be covered. Another small new features for input layer is for the return key. So as you know, we have a return key on our keyboard, right? And on the previous versions, you can set it as a go button or next button or other things. You can customize it. And at this version 5.1, we add a new feature called new line. So if you check it, then when you tap the return key, now it will not send you to another page or send something. It's just to start a new line. Yeah, so those are new features for the input layer. And also we have a new features for the text layer. So the text layer, same. When I tap along contents, the input layer will be extended to right. In some cases, you don't want to change the width of the text layer. So now you can use this one, text resize option, to fix the width. Okay. And then when you tap it, the height of the text layer will be adjusted automatically. So those are two new features for input layer and text layer. With those two features, you can make more interactions, like typing interactions or memo or write a note. So for current this prototype, you can make is you can tap anything, ask user tap anything they want, and then when they click this send button, the contents they just type in here will be shown on the screen. At the same time, the text layer, the background, the blue one, as you can see here, the height of it will be adjusted automatically based on your length of your contents. Okay, so those are let me jump to my slide. Yeah, so those are the two new features related to typing interactions. So with those two new features, you can freely create more interactions related to chat or memo, extra. So yeah, this demo you are watching here is made with those two features. And also we have another two features, but those two features is very, it's very common feature. You can also find them on other design tools. So I will skip the live demo, just explain to you. One is you can drag and you can press the option button and drag a layer, then the layer will be duplicated. Another one is you can select several components or things and copy paste them or use them at once. Okay, so we covered all the things that I prepared for this workshop, and I do want to highlight that for our last version, 5.0, we added some features like shareable libraries or recipes. And our team is continues to improve those features in the following versions, and same for the voice prototyping. So in this process, we need your feedback and the suggestions. So please feel free to share them on the ProtoPie requestment, and you can find the link in the chat window. Okay. Now let me pass the microphone to Fredo to start our Q&A section. Fredo?
Hey, yeah. Hey, Leah. Thank you for the amazing workshop. I think everyone has learned a lot throughout. So thank you. All right. So Q&A time. If you have any questions about the latest 5.1 features, voice prototyping features, let us know in the Q&A window, and Leah and I will try to answer all of the questions that you have. So yeah, we have a bit of time, so please do shoot your questions. So while you were explaining some of the voice prototyping features and referring to the demo with the remote, some people had some questions on how would that actually work? How is that possible? You know, having the prototype on the TV. Maybe you can shed some light, Leah?
Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure. Have you did you guys heard Better Touch tool? It's so weird to introduce other tools at our workshop. Let me share my screen first. Share my screen. So there are tool named Better Touch tool, this one. And you can download it to your Mac. And the TV, the remote control and the TV, they are Apple TV. So when you can use this tool, Better Touch tool, to connect with your remote control. And so when you press any key on the controller, that the controller will send a message to this Better Touch tool first, and then you can you can match the key with a message. And in ProtoPie, we have a send and receive. This one, send and receive triggers and responses. So when you match the key with the message, for example, when Tony pressed the voice button, at the same time, this tool, what the tool's name? Sorry, the Better Touch tool will send a message, voice, this word, to ProtoPie, and the ProtoPie will receive this message here, voice. So that means every time when you press this button, ProtoPie will receive this message, and then you can add like I introduced before, so you can add a speech recognition. That means after ProtoPie receives this voice message, and then it will start listening to you. So yes, for TV, why I said we didn't write any line of code, because we use this tool, and this tool you don't need any coding language. You can do that. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. And to elaborate on that, basically, what you saw on the TV in the video is basically a MacBook Pro that's connected to the TV, and then the remote control, which is an Apple TV remote that was connected to the computer, as Leah explained. So that's how you can, how you can make a smart TV voice search prototype that works with an actual physical remote. I think that answers about like 4 of the questions that we received. All right, so let's see. What else do we have? So another question from Alfonso is, could you explain the best way to use text-to-speech in a search engine. I have a prototype that uses text-to-speech, but it has failed me in Chrome, and I'm not sure if it is a problem with the search engine or the ProtoPie. Yeah, I can just answer this question briefly. So text-to-speech for now only works in the preview window of Studio or directly in ProtoPie Player. So if you try to use this in the browser using the cloud, unfortunately, it doesn't work. So if you want to use this feature, make sure to use it either in the preview window or in ProtoPie Player. All right. How many languages can one prototype understand, and what languages are supported? Leah, maybe you can answer this question.
Let me quickly count it. Oh, sorry, it's just a lamb joke. We support more than 40 languages, right? Is the correct number? 40 languages, right?
Yeah, so yeah, over 40 language variants. So like for some of the language, we have like different variants. For example, English, there's American English, British English, Singaporean English. So yeah, so over 40 language variants. So you have plenty of choice when creating your voice interactions with ProtoPie. And yeah, I hope that answers your questions. And another question that we have is, for example, if I speak, I want an apple, the apple will be replaced with an apple emoji. Maybe Leah, you can explain how you could possibly make this interaction.
Emoji. First, you need to add a image or video for your emoji. So, for example, let me try here. Oh, I need to share my screen. Emoji. Let's say here is emoji. Yeah. Oh, so what you can make is, first you can set it to set the opacity to 0, and then as we said, when you start play this prototype, and ProtoPie can start listen to you immediately. So you can just add the start and the speech recognition, and then you will say something. That means ProtoPie should recognize your comment. So if you say, show me emoji, and then this layer, this emoji layers, opacity should turn to 100. So with these interactions, I think it should be work. Let me try. I haven't made these interactions before. Show. Please show me an emoji. Yeah, here it is. Did I answer your question?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I mean, you could do it in different ways. For example, if there's the actual text in your prototype that says, I want an apple, you can also actually replace that text with something else after a certain speech has been recognized. You can do that as well. All right, so there are two questions from Carol, and they basically come down to the same thing. So can a prototype understand any language, or do you have to tell or set up which language the prototype should listen to? So yeah, basically you do have to set it up beforehand. So when you use the speech recognition response, you can select one of the languages, and then the prototype would listen to speech in that specific language. So it's one language at a time. So you're able to So let's say you do French first, but it has to be English after, then make sure to use a speech recognition response that stops listening in French, and then you use another speech recognition response that would make the prototype start listening in English. So I hope that answers your question. All right, let's see what we have. A question from Jinwook. Rather than using Better Touch or any keyboard or gamepad input, is there a way for prototype to just listen plus identify external keystrokes? That will be much simpler to use external input. Not sure if I understand the question. Leah, do you want to answer this one?
I think he is asking, we don't use a third applications, how to connect other device like a remote control with ProtoPie. To answer your question, actually, it totally depends on what kind of device you will use. Some, as I know, some remote control, you don't need third application. ProtoPie can just recognize the signal from them. So that means you don't need to install the Better Touch tool or other things. But some remote control, you have to use a third applications. So it totally depends on your hardware.
Right. So if whatever device that is connected to your computer or to your phone or tablet, if it's recognized as a Bluetooth keyboard, you can actually use the press trigger in ProtoPie, and you would not need to use any third-party applications to make it work. So that is something that you could try if you wanna make prototypes and that involve certain pieces of hardware. Okay. So a question from Tobias: can multiple languages be running in parallel? So no. So as we talked about this earlier, it can only be done with one language at a time. So if the prototype is listening to a specific language and you want to switch languages, then you do need to use various speech recognition responses to stop listening in the first language and then start listening in the second language. Let's see. What type of engine is behind the ProtoPie voice? And also, is it possible to switch it to a custom engine? Good question. I'd like to say magic, but but there's more. We're using the Google Cloud AI API, and currently this is the only one that we're using. So there's no possibilities in switching to other other engines or APIs that are out there. So it's this one for now. Yeah. Hope that answers your question. Let's see. I think we have one question here from Arpit. Can we make an interaction like Samsung Notes where you write with speech and then you jump to a particular note / phrase when you seek through speech or vice versa? Would you like to take this one, Leah?
Because I haven't tried Samsung Notes. Right. I'm not sure. I need to try first. Can I answer you later after this workshop? I'd like to try to make this prototype first and then give you a right answer.
I guess it's the same for me. I haven't tried Samsung Notes. So Arpit, I would recommend you to go to our website, fill in our support form and get in touch with us, or just simply send us an email at support@protopie.io, and then we can answer your you can look into it and then answer your question in more detail.
By the way, we have a Ask Leah form on our Learn page. It's on our website. So Arpit, if you don't mind, could you ask this question again through that form, Ask Layer form? So I will answer you after I trying it. Thank you.
Great. And we have one other question about user testing. How can I share my prototypes to make a user test? Are there any tools that we would recommend? So you can upload your prototypes to the cloud from Studio, and then you can easily share the link that you have with whoever needs to do user testing. There are no specific tools that we can recommend right now. There are a bunch of out there in terms of user testing. So I would definitely encourage you to try and see what works best with ProtoPie and what would work well for you. But yeah, the links of the prototype links, they work in the browser, desktop as well as mobile. And if you have the ProtoPie Player app on your smart device, your prototypes would open there as well. So there are some features that only work in ProtoPie Player. So like, for example, text input, using the camera, some other sensors, as well as the text-to-speech, they only work there. So make sure if you want to use those features for user testing, we would highly encourage you to use the ProtoPie Player when it comes to smart devices. Let's see. What else do we have here? Can you password protect for shared links of a prototype? Leah, what do you think?
Currently, we don't have this feature. We don't have password protect, but you can set who you want to share with. So if you have tried ProtoPie team or enterprise, you can add team members as a viewer to your project. So only the team members you set it can see your prototype, but we don't have password protect. Yeah, nice feature request.
And are there plans to make a player for PC? Would you like to take this one as well, Leah?
As I know, we don't have this plan. I can ask our CEO first and answer you. As I know, until now, we don't have this plan. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to see this happen, I would recommend you to go to protopie.canny.io and yeah, put your request there for us and others to see, and so they can vote for it. All right. A question from Jinwook about, is there a limit using the text-to-speech or speech recognition? I don't want ProtoPie to get out of business. That's a good question. No, there is no limit for now. You can use the voice prototyping triggers and responses as much as you want. You don't have to worry about us going out of business. Just make sure to spread the word about ProtoPie with your fellow designers, and then you can keep using those features as long as you want. I hope that answers your question. All right, so a question from Carol. Yes, we'll send a recording of this workshop, as well as an overview of the upcoming workshops that Leah is going to be doing in the upcoming weeks. We'll send an email to all of you sometime after this webinar. Yes. Cool. All right. All right. So these are the last questions that we can answer in this webinar. So any plan to have the ProtoPie Player app available for streaming devices, Apple TV, Chromecast, Fire TV, and so on? Currently, we don't have any plans for this. So again, this would be a feature request. Let us know on protopie.kenny.io. If any of these devices support Android in some way, then you could theoretically install ProtoPie player on it. We're just not sure on how the performance would be in that specific case, but it's something that you could definitely try. So again, let us know on Kenny and so others, and we would know more about what your needs are on this. All right, so let's see. There we have a question from Arpit. Can this replicate Google Duplex demo where an assistant replied to a call in real time from Google I/O 2019? I know there's no AI behind this, but does this work as a prototype? Ooh, unfortunately, I did not watch that demo last year. But you can go pretty far with ProtoPie. So any kind of scenarios that you have in mind involving multiple devices, and now with voice, you can go pretty far in whatever you want to make. You can create that experience, multi-device plus voice experience. So I'm not entirely sure what this would be, but I think you can make it work as a prototype with ProtoPie. All right, so last question from Tobias. Do you support live video embeds, for example, Vimeo or YouTube? Leah, do you want to take this question?
Currently, we don't. We do not support the live demo embeds. So you can just import the MP4 format video directly into ProtoPie. Sorry for your question, but I still recommend you to go to our user platform, Kenny, and to request this feature.
Yeah, so I mean, the workaround here would be to, if you're not the owner of that YouTube channel, I mean, you could download a video as MP4 and then add it to your prototype, as Leah mentioned. So yeah, that would be the workaround for now. All right, cool. All right. One last question from Alfonso. In terms of video formats, I think MP4, that's what we support. And for other types, have a look at the documentation. I don't remember. I think it's predominantly MP4 that we support. Next to that, we also support GIFs and Lottie, so you can use those in your prototypes as well. Great. I think we went through all the questions for today, and I'd like to thank everyone for joining us at this workshop. For some of you, it's really early. For some of you, it's very late. So we appreciate it, and yeah, we'll see you hopefully at some of the next workshops that Leah is doing, and that would be it for today. Thank you very much for joining. See you at the next one. All right, see you, Leah.
See you, Fredo. Bye-bye.